our drilling team has when we go horizontal, when we kick out, is to make the entire 10,000 feet with a single bit run. We're starting to be able to do that with some consistency. And this is all due to the technology that the service companies have been working with us to employ. So it's been a tremendous learning experience. It's hard for me to think that I've been in this business for over 30 years and still learning. I learned things from Kathy this morning, so you still manage to keep learning things out here. We currently have 2.5 dedicated frac crews. Each frac crew employs about 65 people. And as Ron mentioned, Whiting is employing a fairly large number of folks here in North Dakota. So you can understand with all the rigs we have running, all the frac crews we have running, there's a tremendous amount of jobs that are available in North Dakota. Whiting currently has over 90 open positions. So we are continuing to hire. We are continuing to focus on the northern colleges. We call it our northern operation. And we have supported not all the schools, we've supported a number of the schools in North Dakota, along with Montana Tech over in Montana. One other thing I just want to talk about is early in the development of Sanish Field, it was pointed out that there seemed to be more vapors coming off of the production tanks out here than what one would expect. And so Whiting investigated this, and we found out that, yes, this was true. It appears that the oil and gas that we produce out of the Bakken, the gas has a real affinity for the oil. It doesn't separate as easy as perhaps some of the other gas crude mixtures that we produce in other parts of the nation. So we did some work on this, and we have started. Whiting is currently heading up a task force. We're working with the North Dakota Department of Health to come up with a solution for this problem, along with a number of the companies here in North Dakota. So we are trying to work in a collaborative effort with the regulatory agencies to come up with a solution rather than to work in an adversarial relationship, which has sort of been the regulatory method. And we think this, in North Dakota this can happen. Because of a lot of other things that are going on here, we would like this to be the model for how we work out our regulatory issues in the future. I've brought this up with Region 8 EPA in Denver. We'll see what happens. So we'll see if we can make this work. In addition to Sanish Field, and as shown on this slide right here, we have an additional 468,000 acres in 5 additional prospect areas in western North Dakota. In addition, we have 129,000 more acres just over the state line in Sheridan, Roosevelt, and Richland counties, Montana. 8 of our 17 rigs that we have running in North Dakota are drilling in these prospect areas outside of Sanish. We plan to drill at least 2 wells in every one of these prospect areas by the end of 2011. If you look at all the potential locations we have in North Dakota, we currently have over 1,500 locations remaining to be drilled. So we're currently drilling, as I mentioned, just a little over 200 wells this year. We're going to be out here for a long time drilling wells. These wells have a very long production life. Right now, our modelers are carrying this out for 25 years. I doubt if we will be done in 25 years, but we're going to be out here for a long, long time. As was mentioned earlier, according to state records, we're the #2 oil producer in the state. In 2010, Whiting paid just over $108 million to the state of North Dakota in production taxes. I was very interested to hear Eileen's numbers to make sure my numbers fit inside her numbers so that we didn't... we paid royalties to the state in the amount of $12.7 million and federal royalties of just over $11 million. This is the one I like. To the citizens of North Dakota, we paid out royalties of nearly $117 million. So I think there's a few very happy people out there in North Dakota. Our corporate philosophy is to be good stewards of our assets for our shareholders and be good stewards of the land, environment, and environment for the landowners and citizens of North Dakota. We are currently striving to attain zero emissions on all of our operations. We have not gotten there. It's a goal. We will continue to pursue that goal. In our experience, the one thing you should all be proud of is the indigenous workforce in North Dakota is one of the best in the nation. The work ethic that is instilled in the citizens of North Dakota is something you should all be proud. The only problem we have is there isn't enough of you. So you need to get out there and make more North Dakotans. We are very appreciative of the efforts of North Dakota to support the training and the programs that have allowed us to fill many of these positions. And we are making a strong effort to keep the citizens of North Dakota, the citizens and students of North Dakota in North Dakota. I want to acknowledge the importance of producing oil, or producing energy for that matter, in the U.S. The approximate 400,000 barrels a day that is produced in North Dakota is 400,000 barrels a day that we don't have to import and pay foreign governments for. At $90 a barrel, that represents $36 million a day, or $13 billion a year. Now, to put that in perspective, if Senator Hoeven were here, that's about what our government spends in a day. So through your efforts here in North Dakota for a year, you've underwritten the U.S. budget for one day. But let's keep it up. Let's see if we can't get that to 2 days. I want to thank you for the invitation to come talk to you today. I appreciate everything that goes on in North Dakota. I've worked in North Dakota off and on over my 30-year career. It's still one of my favorite places to be. And yes, I have been to Crosby, North Dakota. The Sweet Home Inn in Crosby, it was one of my hangouts early in my career. I really appreciate everything you folks are doing up here. I hope that we maintain a good remain a good corporate citizen here in the state of North Dakota, and I look forward to all your questions. Thank you very much. Thanks, man.
Thank you, Jim. The technology that Jim and the other producers have advanced in North Dakota just through their, what really I look at the Bakken as is a big research laboratory, because they have taken what worked early in eastern Montana into Montreal County and now developed a technology that has expanded the Bakken play 10 or 20-fold into other counties across western North Dakota, and Lynn will talk a little bit about that. Our next speaker is Lynn Helms. Lynn is the state's top regulator. He works for the North Dakota Industrial Commission, which is the governor, the Attorney General, and the Ag Commissioner. Lynn is a tremendous asset to the state of North Dakota, certainly a good friend of mine, and I think certainly the best regulator in North Dakota, unquestionably the best regulator in the country of oil and gas, and I think today is the best regulator in the world. So, please welcome.
Thank you, Ron, for that kind introduction. It is great to be here in the Red River Valley. I really appreciate it. We're talking about a partnership here that generates real wealth, true wealth, not the kind that we refer to sometimes as quantitative easing, where we push a button and magical numbers appear somewhere and things happen in the economy. North Dakota is unique in that we view our relationship with our industry as a partner. The regulators in North Dakota, I can speak for myself and for Dave Glott at the Health Department, we really see it as a partnership. And our goal is first, when a company comes into North Dakota, to educate them on how we do things here and how our current companies are doing things, and then only as a last resort to ever have to take any kind of enforcement action on anybody. It's unusual to get to share the stage with a couple of fabulous ladies from New Jersey. I found that amazing, and I've often told that I have a vivid imagination. Here's a business opportunity for you, Scott. Maybe we could do Jersey Shore of the Red River. I don't know. We are the Department of Mineral Resources. Hopefully I can figure this thing out and we can advance the slides. We have been on a remarkable journey the last few years. What I want to do is three things this morning. I want to talk a little bit about the size and scope of this thing, and then I want to talk about hydraulic fracturing and how it works, and then finally I want to talk about some of the business opportunities that are already at play and maybe some future business opportunities. Take a look at that slide. Industrial Commission cases heard. That is the type of business model everybody would like to employ. I think that's the kind of business model Nesset Consulting has been seeing over the recent years, and it's certainly what we're seeing here. I wanted to make a comment. It's not that unusual that when you get a geologist showing up and then a great business partner like Whiting, that a regulator follows not too long after that. So we regulate this thing. We spend most of our time setting up spacing units for these horizontal wells. And so this is just a section view of a typical Bakken Three Forks well and how we set up the 2 square miles that well is going to produce the oil from. I refer to it as a box of rocks. You see it there on the right-hand slide. The reason we do that is 100 years ago, the oil industry was unregulated. This is Spindletop in Texas, and the rule of capture was the rule of the day. You put as many rigs on your land as you could, you put them as close to the border as you could, and you produced as much of the neighbor's oil as you could. And if you were producing more than you could fit in the tank, you put it on the ground. And that was the nature of the industry 100 years ago. It's a vastly different industry. This is what it looks like out in the Mountrail County area, a little bit of an expansion.